Let's jump right in. Today, we're totally stripping away financial friction. The ultimate goal here, building a system that actually creates lasting wealth without completely taking over your life. We're going to look at a setup that is so incredibly simple, it honestly feels like you're cheating. It's all about ditching the chaos and replacing it with pure, automated clarity.
So take a quick second and think about your own setup. How many bank accounts are you actually juggling right now? Look, most of us fall into this trap of thinking that having more accounts somehow makes us more organized. But honestly, more accounts just mean more decisions, and more decisions create friction. Friction is literally the silent killer of any financial strategy. The more complicated it gets, the higher the chance you're going to hit decision fatigue and just abandon the whole thing entirely. The magic number you actually need is 3. Just 3. This is the exact sweet spot where simplicity perfectly meets function. See, anything less than 3 is just too basic to keep your daily spending separate from your wealth building. But anything over 3, way too complex to maintain over the long haul. 3 accounts. Literally everything else is just noise.
To really get a feel for how this plays out, let's take a look at Ryan. Before he set this up, Ryan was dragging around 7 different bank accounts. We're talking a checking account, 2 separate savings accounts, an emergency fund, a vacation fund, some random credit union from his college days, and an old account he just kept forgetting to close. And his total balance across all 7? Just $1,240. He literally had more accounts than some small businesses, but less actual cash than most people keep in one. It was just a high-friction, overwhelming mess. So we're going to contrast that chaos with a highly streamlined, zero-friction, 3-account system.
Okay, it all starts right here. Account 1, your checking account. Now, I really want you to think of this strictly as your financial traffic hub. This is where your money arrives, not a storage unit where it just sits around collecting dust. It's the transit center of your financial life. You really only want to keep about 1 to 2 months of fixed expenses in here. Drop below that, and yeah, you risk an overdraft, but keep too much extra in there, and that cash is earning basically 0 interest when it absolutely belongs somewhere else.
In fact, Account 1 has exactly 3 jobs. First, it receives your paycheck. Second, it pays your fixed bills automatically. And third, it pushes money to your other 2 accounts on payday. And that is it. Nothing else. Money arrives, bills get paid, and transfers happen all on autopilot. The real beauty here is that whatever is left sitting in this account after those 3 jobs are done, well, that's just your guilt-free spending budget for the rest of the month.
Which brings us to Account 2, the high-yield savings account. Now, if Account 1 is your transit hub, Account 2 is where your money actually waits with purpose. This right here is your safety net, your emergency fund, and the engine for your short-term goals. But, and this is absolutely crucial, it has to be optimized. You cannot, under any circumstances, just use a standard savings account from a big brick-and-mortar bank for this. To put the cost of complacency into perspective, just check out this number, $1,400. If you park a $10,000 emergency fund in a modern high-yield savings account, earning, say, roughly 4.8%, versus a standard bank account earning an absolutely abysmal 0.01%, the difference over just 3 years is over $1,400 in pure interest. No extra work. They both have the exact same FDIC protection, the exact same access to your cash. But one actively grows your safety net, while the other does absolutely nothing. Now, you might be wondering, how do I save for different things if I only have one savings account? Well, modern high-yield accounts usually let you create named folders or buckets right inside that single account. So you can have your emergency fund, your vacation fund, and say a car repair fund all visually separated but housed perfectly under one single bank login. This is exactly how you use sinking funds to turn sudden disasters like that $1,200 car repair that completely blinded you last year into scheduled, totally stress-free events without opening a bunch of extra accounts. All right, finally, we arrive at Account 3, the investment account. This is the heavy lifter. It's dedicated entirely to building wealth over decades. This account does one thing and one thing only. It grows your money. This is where things like a Roth IRA, your employer 401k, or a standard brokerage account live. Just to give you an idea of the power here, if you stash away just $500 a month into this account, over 30 years, that can snowball into over $612,000. But where exactly should that money go once it's in Account 3? Well, there's a pretty strict priority sequence you really should stick to. First up, always take the employer match from your 401k. I mean, that is quite literally a 100% return on day one. Next, if you're carrying any high interest debt like anything over 7%, your priority temporarily shifts to wiping that out. Once that bad debt is gone, you move straight to the Roth IRA. The tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals in retirement make it one of the absolute most powerful wealth-building tools you can possibly use.
So, you might be asking yourself, how do I know if my money should be saved or invested? It all comes down to one single, totally foolproof rule, the timeline rule. If you're going to need that cash in under 3 years, it goes straight to account 2, your high-yield savings. But if that money has a timeline of 10 plus years, boom, it belongs in account 3, your investments. The timeline of the money completely dictates where it lives. No second guessing required.
Okay, so let's see how this whole thing connects into this unstoppable wealth machine. The true secret sauce of this 3-account setup is the automation layer. Money just flows in one single direction with zero guesswork. Let's be real. If any financial system demands your active participation in daily willpower, it is eventually going to fail. We're only human, right? But the automation engine guarantees that this system just hums along quietly in the background, whether you even think about it or not.
To give you a super practical starting point for your cash flow, consider using the 70-10-20 rule. So let's pretend you're bringing home $5,000 a month. 70%, or $3,500, stays right there in account 1 for your bills and your daily life. 10%, which is $500, gets routed to account 2 for your savings and emergencies, and that final 20%, $1,000, fires directly into account 3 for your long-term investments. And here's the best part. As your income grows over the years, you don't just absorb those raises into your lifestyle, you point that new money straight at accounts 2 and 3.
Now, setting this entire automation up takes maybe an hour of your time, but it pays off with years of invisible benefits. It's a simple 4-step process. Step 1, set up your direct deposit straight into your checking. Step 2, put every single fixed bill on autopay out of that checking account. Step 3, set up an automatic transfer to your savings on payday. And step 4, set an automatic investment contribution for that very same day. It is literally a set it and forget it machine. All of this really highlights a core truth about personal finance that we all need to accept. Complexity feels organized, but it almost never is. We completely confuse the two all the time. Having 7 different accounts with 7 different passwords, constantly checking 7 different balances, and trying to mentally reconcile them all, that isn't organization, it's friction. And like we talked about, friction causes you to just give up. Please do not fall into the trap of opening a brand new bank account for every single financial goal you dream up.
Once this 3-account system goes live, your entire maintenance drops to maybe 10 minutes a month. You literally just log in and ask yourself 3 quick things. Number 1, is account 1 above its safe minimum balance? Number 2, did the auto transfers to accounts 2 and 3 actually fire off like they were supposed to? And number 3, are the savings goals in account 2 still on track? That's it. That is the entire monthly maintenance. 10 minutes and you are done.
Ultimately, wealth is not built by some complex, tangled web of accounts. It's built by consistency, and consistency absolutely demands simplicity. Let's look back at Ryan for a second. At month 1, he was totally overwhelmed, sitting on just $1,240 spread across 7 messy accounts. By month 3 of running this system, complete clarity, and his balance had already grown to over $3,680. Fast forward 10 years, Ryan has $18,000. The system wins because it's the one that survives. Which leaves us with one final challenge for you. Are you willing to finally stop relying on completely chaotic bank logins and exhausting spreadsheets and just spend 40 minutes this weekend building a system that runs quietly for decades? You honestly just need to take 3 actions. Open a solid high-yield savings account, open a Roth IRA, and set up your automatic transfers. That is the whole shebang. If simplicity is the ultimate driver of consistent wealth, what's really stopping you from closing out all those extra accounts today? Think about it.